Welcome to the SolidCAM University channel. In this video, we'll continue our series of videos on the HSR, HSM constraint boundary options. Here we'll be talking about the theoretical rest areas. So the theoretical rest areas uses the same methodology you would see throughout SolidCAM when we refer to something like rest. We're looking to machine the remaining material, the remaining stock, from other toolpaths. Now here, this one's referred to as the theoretical rest areas because we haven't really machined anything at this point, but we will tell it what the previous tool would have been, and then it'll calculate a constraint area based off of what would be the remaining area. So let's take a look at that. So I've opened up an HSM toolpath. I have theoretical rest areas turned on, and I'm going to go to new geometry. But first, it asks me for a tool because, again, we need to reference. So I'm going to say that I'd like to use a 1/4-inch tool, 1/4-inch ball mill. Now when I go to new, I could either generate this for the entire model or I can generate it for specific surfaces. So again, you can limit the travel of the tool throughout the entire model or just specific surfaces. So for instance, let's take a look at this corner over here. So I'm going to grab these surfaces here. And as soon as I tell it what surfaces I'd like to work on, it asks me what the previous tool diameter was. So in this case, I'll say it was a 1/2-inch ball mill. And of course, you can give it Z top and Z bottom as well. This is simply to limit the travel of the tool. But now that I've told it what the previous tool size would have been theoretically, and the tool I'm looking to use now, it will detect that from the model in those areas and generate a constraint boundary for those surfaces to limit the travel of the tool to work on whatever the previous tool did not do. If we take a look at that here, you can see that it generated it for those specific surfaces. Now, since this is one continuous surface, it also checked the nearby solid as well to make sure that I could use that tool in those areas. So all of this is to limit the travel of the tool to do the areas that the previous tool could not do. Now, I don't need to necessarily have a previous toolpath generated for that to be recognized. That is in your rest milling option in the HSM technology section. Here, this is simply just the constraint boundaries, and this is a theoretical projection of where the tool might need to go in the case of the use of the reference tool. Stay tuned for the rest of the options listed in this playlist to review the other constraint options available from the HSR and HSM toolpaths, or stay tuned for the rest of the videos on our YouTube channel as well. Thanks for watching.